So what is a mob switch and why should you build one? I recently just built a mob switch here on my 4,000 day hardcore world, and people are always asking me now, what is a mob switch? To answer those questions, let's quickly go to my mob switch and let me show you. A mob switch is basically a giant machine full of hostile mobs. And if we quickly go through this portal here, which is just a chunk loader, and if we look over here, you're gonna see from the distance our mob switch. Now, I'm going to switch into flashback real fast, and the reason for flashback is so I can go over there without causing more silverfish to spawn. But essentially what this is this is a box with about 90 silverfish just sitting in unloaded lazy chunks. What that essentially means is the game is like, hey, there are 90 silverfish inside this box, meaning we cannot spawn any more hostile mobs in this world because they are being taken up by this box of 90 silverfish. To explain lazy chunks real fast, basically lazy chunks are chunks that are just outside the render distance of a loaded chunk that the game is keeping track of but is not actively updating, meaning there's no lag. If you're playing on a server with more than one person, you need about 70 mobs per person. This design is by ENX04. So basically, because we forced the game to spawn 90 silverfish, the game can no longer spawn any more hostile mobs anywhere. Now, the only exception to this are going to be things like Elder Guardians or pillagers spawning inside of a mansion or stuff like that. You know what it is? Why should you build one? Well, luckily I have a book here with some reasons. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and haven't already, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more like it. Back to the video. First off, peace while building near caves in the dark. I'm heading back to my ancient city base right now to demonstrate this. It is currently nighttime here in the ancient city of Agalith, and previously, before the mob switch, I would have been inundated with an army of slimes and mobs while trying to work on my base. Because if you don't know, I currently have to dig out these walls, because you can see some of them are smooth. Down here they're smooth, but there's still a couple left that need smoothing out, especially up here at the stone level. And as you can see while we're flying around here, there's no mob spawning. It's completely safe. Skipping ahead to level 3, this fundamentally makes hardcore Minecraft easier. So if you're playing hardcore, it's something to consider. Obviously, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Phantoms do still spawn, just so you know, so you will have to sleep every night away. But it makes hardcore easier. And even if you're playing on a normal survival world, I would still want to build one of these because being able to view my builds at night is awesome. These beacons look insane at this time of day. Going back to number 2, tackling structures is made way easier. To demonstrate this, let me head over to a nearby ocean monument. Nearby my spawn, I have this temple sitting here in the ocean, and normally if I was sitting right here, floating casually, I would have been absolutely mauled by guardians. But you can see I'm just chilling. I'm pretty sure I haven't even looted this, so I might even get some Elder Guardians. Yep, I hear Elder Guardian sounds. So yeah, in fact, if I turn this up, let's see. Yup, there's still all Elder Guardians in here, but no actual Guardians. And somehow I didn't get mining fatigue. Lucky! While we're flying over to my Guardian farm, I also wanted to say it's fun to have control over mob spawning. It really is kind of the essence of Minecraft, being able to control everything. Now, there are still parts you can't control, obviously, like phantom spawning and things like that, but you can still sleep those away. But for example, if I wanted to work inside of my Guardian farm, for example, one issue I've always had with this Guardian farm is when I originally built it, I wanted it to be an XP farm, so I built it one block too short. So the Guardians will fall and then land on these campfires and then die. If I really wanted to, I could move all of this right now. There's no Guardians falling. There's no Guardians spawning. I don't have to worry about anything because I can just peacefully build without being rained on by Guardians. And finally, just for fun, it's a fun challenge building a mob switch. It took me about an hour and a half to build mine, designed by ENX04. It's the silverfish design. It's really, really good. But you could go all out. If you wanted to, you could use zombie villagers instead, which would take a lot longer. And I probably will be switching to a zombie villager design later down the line because the design by ENX04 is susceptible to breaking. But, ow. It's a fun challenge, and I highly recommend giving it a try. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video about mob switches and found it educational. I hope you have a good life. Hope I'll be able to cheer, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.